been covering player face scans in NBA 2K for the past, I think, 4 years. And what I wanted to do is cover the 10 face scans I think all time have been just absolutely atrocious. Like no excuse by 2K, just terrible, right? There's a lot. Some are current players, some are former legends. There's a lot I want to cover. So if you like this kind of content, please join the pack and subscribe. Leave a like on the video. Believe it or not, it helps the video grow. And I say we just get right into it, starting at number 10 with Joe Ingles. Now, Joe Ingles has had 2 face scans where I was just like, dude, this doesn't work. The first one is the most atrocious one. This was from NBA 2K, I'd say 17 through like 19, 20. This one's so bad. At least with the second one, it kind of looks like him. This one is just the beard, the face shape, the eyes look like they don't belong. I think the biggest thing is that Joe Ingles has, like me, we have bags under our eyes pretty heavily, and our eyes are like more deep into our skull. 2K didn't recognize that, so it just looks like his eyes are on like the face of his head, and it's terrifying. It looks so scary. It looks like a young man's eyes in an old man's face. It's terrifying. I don't like it at all. Also, the hairline, I feel like they were afraid to give him the hairline to go inward, so like they just gave him a massive forehead instead of a bad hairline. All over the place. This one terrifies me. The scariest looking face scan in 2K history, and I hate it. Then there was a second version, which was still Joe Ingles, but I think this one's closer, but I still think the bag, like under the eye problem still exists. And they smoothed out his forehead so much. His skin, when he looks a lot older in real life, when like in the game he looks smooth, it just looks terrible. And the ears are like, what's wrong with that? All over the place, Joe Ingles has been terrible. Now at number 9 on the list, we have Tracy McGrady back in NBA 2K19. This was a big deal for a long time. Everyone said that Tracy McGrady, you know, this is a player that everyone wants to use in 2K. He was always popular in 2K in my team because he was so good as a card. To not have a even decent looking face scan for Tracy McGrady was terrible. And on the right, you can see what it ended up looking like, which is great. But on the left, for the longest time, this was so bad. It looked nothing like him. It didn't even kind of look like him for the longest time. It looked like a player creator. Such a bad face scan for so long. I'm glad they finally addressed it later on in 2K20. Now, at number 8 on this list, it is Zach LaVine. When NBA 2K21 dropped on the next generation, everyone was looking so realistic. The graphics are so cool. Like Curry looked photorealistic, right? And then they dropped Zach LaVine and everyone was like, what in the world is that? It was terrifying at the time. Sure, like the beard and the hair was at least kind of right, but the face himself, oh my God, it looks so bad. Now they did update it over time, but like in the moment, it was just like, you're ruining this amazing next generation experience and graphics with this god awful face cam with Zach LaVine. Just absolutely atrocious. I'm like, so bad. I mean, someone greenlit that. It to me is just insanity. Now, at number 7 on this list, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic has 2 different face scans. Both have been absolutely awful. The first one they attempted was Jokic. I don't think the face was necessarily terrible, but like he always had a little bit of facial hair and his hair was always a little bit longer. So it just made him look so weird. And like, yes, he has like bags under his eyes like me, but they didn't make it dark. They just added like grayness to it. It was super odd how they decided to make Jokic look. It was a terrible attempt, and I thought when they updated him, it was finally going to be good, but then they made an updated version, and it was still terrible. Now it just looked like they gave him like wrinkles on his mouth and chin area, and they overdid it. I don't know. It's like they couldn't figure out what was wrong. I think if they'd used the face scan previous, but then the hair of this one, and kind of blended it together, it would have been a better job. But I do agree that Jokic probably isn't the easiest person to make, but good Lord, did they fail over and over again. Just unacceptable. Now at number 6 on this list, this was a pretty big one at the time, JJ Redick. This was when JJ Redick finally like left the NBA, retired, and this was the final face scan they gave him. And what the hell is that? I think the hair, the head shape, and the beard is perfect. The face itself looks nothing like JJ Redick. There is this theory I have that sometimes 2K doesn't have the time or like the opportunity to do an actual face scan for a player, like take him to that room and do like a whole face scan. So they try to hand model it. And I think that they just did such a terrible job here. Like the eyes are way too hazel, right? First of all. Second, it's just the nose is wrong, the mouth is wrong. It's just weird. It looks like a completely different human being, but the shape of the same person. Super odd. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I don't know why this one never got a green light. This one's even worse. At number 5, Anthony Edwards. You would think one of the highest picks in the draft would be to have a great face scan, great hair update, but no. To this day, Anthony Edwards has one of the worst, in my opinion, maybe the worst current face scan in the game. That looks nothing like Anthony Edwards. I don't know how they messed this one up so bad. The hair's been wrong for a long time. The face is absolutely atrocious. I mean, just from top to bottom, every inch of his face here is just wrong. I cannot believe that this was greenlit either. Terrible. At number 4, we have NBA legend, all-time Spurs great, Sean Elliott. What the hell is that on the left? Now, on the right, you see the updated version, but in NBA 2K19 on the left, he looked like a goblin. First of all, what the hell is wrong with his nose? I don't know how they messed that up. I've never seen a nose that wide and that flat in my life. They completely botched it. His ears look like a demon. Terrible, terrible face scan. Sometimes I think that they kept the face scans back from like the PS3 days for legend players and just never changed them. And I feel like that's what they did here because, oh my lord, is this atrocious. Now, at number 3 on this list, it was a really popular one for a long time, Kelly Oubre. He had this terrible face scan for so long. He looks like, what are those little like baby called, like the little toys? The Beanie Babies? I don't know. He looks terrible. I mean, just absolutely bad. For being one of the most attractive men in the NBA, I know what I said. Kelly Oubre looks terrible here. I mean, the face is wrong, the hair is wrong, the beard is wrong. They finally updated it in the current years, but like just for the longest time, this was the worst face scan in the game. And oh my lord, I can't believe they thought this was okay for that long. Now, at number 2 on this list, this one's gonna scare you. Joe Dumars. Oh my lord, what were they thinking? It was like Joe Dumars was in like a wax museum. What in the hell is that? What is that? On the right, it looks way better, but God, on the left, like that 2K19 scan is just crazy. It's crazy how they thought that was okay. He looks super highlighted, like he has makeup on, so it's like he's shining, right? The face scan looks like it's scrunched together. Crazy, crazy face scan to everything this was going to be okay. It looks like an AI generated version of Joe Dumars. Absolutely terrible, and I'm kind of scared looking at it to this day. Finally, at number 1, easily, Don't Strength on NBA 2K19. Wow. Wow. I've said it before a long time ago, it looks like an alien. The hair is something. I am very impressed that they were able to mess up his hair that hard. I mean, good lord. That is so bad. That's so bad. I mean, the skin tone's wrong. The eyes are way too big. The head and the hair literally looks like Cortex from Crash Bandicoot. I mean, what in the world were they thinking? That is just top to bottom the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't think 2K can ever match this. He looks like Frankenstein. That is terrible. Now, those are the worst face scans in 2K history, easily. What do you guys think is the worst one? Leave it in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, please join the pack and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.